Team Secret Whales know that they have to change something in the game plan here for this one, because last game, I feel like the game was over at level 2. Delight making the roam to mid lane super early, getting Zeka just so far ahead of D-Ray. D-Ray never got back into the game, right? That rise was irrelevant from level 2. So they've got to find a way to try to deal with this a little bit better. And let's go ahead and hop into our second champ select here. Secret Whales have elected to take second pick for their choice, so HLE has opted to choose the blue side.
And I do think that's to try and get counter pick for Pun in that top lane. Like, that has kind of been their bread and butter. Like, he's been known for bringing out things like the Volibear and the Olafs and all these kind of weird, wacky, and wonderful picks up there. So I'm hoping we do get to see a little bit of that, because that was what was their bread and butter domestically. But the problem is I'm not seeing the Camille ban, which I don't know if Team Secret Whales are going to go for. Because after the impact that Delight had in the early game, I don't know if I want to give that one across to them.
Yeah, that's a pretty scary proposition. Our bans here in the first half do end up being Varus, Poppy, Nautilus, banned out by HLE. Over on the other side, Team Secret Whales getting rid of Rumble, Gnar, and Orianna. And hey, you called it, man. The Camille locked in for HLE and Delight.
Yeah, very, very strong. And you can still go towards like the mages in the bottom lane. We haven't seen Gumayusi bring out the Mel, but already having used the Ziggs, I imagine he's still going to be more than happy to go towards that Mel and bring out some of these picks. But either way, Team Secret Whales is going to have to find some way to shut down this early aggression from HLE. Jarvan, a decent start. Very strong when he hits that level 3.
Yep, we've got the Jarvan in there. Remember that Hizto played the Lee Sin in the previous game, was not able to find the early action that he would like to. But all right, alongside the Jarvan, we get Elise locked in.
I mean, fire with fire here. I'm excited because, like, Elise Caitlyn, definitely something you can try and answer for, with the Caitlyn being able to avoid some of the long-range engages from the Camille. Also set up for that kind of combo if the Camille ever overextends. What we'll have to see is Kanavi go back towards the Qiyana. He is insanely good on this pick.
He is very good on it. You can see right there, 0-3 in the play-ins, so our teams trying to qualify for main stage did not have the success with it they would have liked. But now, there's the Mel that you were talking about. Gumayusi showing us his Ziggs in game number 1. Had a great performance on that one. Now ready to lock in the Mel next to the Camille here in game number 2.
Yeah, the Qiyana isn't something we've seen from Kanavi in the LCK, or at least this year in the LCK, but was very well known for it in the LPL. Very, very strong on the pick and was able to get a ton of control. And fits into what was his like playmaking style. It was kind of this and the Bel'Veth were kind of his 2 picks that he'd have in the back pocket he would bring out. But there on the upside, Team Secret Whales not going towards the Caitlyn as we expected. Instead going towards the Elise. Still like that follow-up on the Cocoon, the ability to play from long range. Against Qiyana, Camille, and Mel, probably a good call to stay away from them.
Yeah, but I'm curious if he'll be able to do it, because Jhin doesn't have that range that you were talking about with the Caitlyn, right? He does have the normal range of an AD carry. Yes, your Deadly Flourish and your Curtain Call can go a long way, but critically, he also doesn't have Caitlyn's net. The only thing he can do is run, and when Qiyana and Camille are going after you, Eddie's going to have very, very careful positioning or a lot of protection to stay safe from these divers.
And I'm surprised we didn't get the Caitlyn, because Eddie has played. He's 2 games, 2 wins, 15 KDA on the champion, so definitely something that's in his wheelhouse, but instead, opts towards his Jhin. Now we're getting the top lane bans going over towards Zeus. The Cassandra, I'm surprised at, because I expected Zeus more to go towards like these the carry top laners from this position. Like, so already kind of opting more towards the tanks is a surprise to me.
All right, Cassante, Renekton, Kennen, all banned away. It is the top lane hunting grounds here in the second half of the draft, as Jax will be the final ban here for HLE.
It says to me that HLE are leaning towards an Ambessa pick with the Renekton and the Jax gone, even the Cassante. It's definitely something you could try and go towards. I've only seen it once from Zeus over the course of the LCK, but I mean, we've seen what Doran has been able to do on it over the course of this tournament thus far and domestically. What we'll have to see is, I imagine this is just going to be your mid lane pick here again. Like Team Secret Whales, the way they draft is oftentimes leaving that counter pick for a pull.
All right, Aurora locked in for Secret Whales. Remember, this is a champion that can flex between mid or top, so still making it kind of harder for HLE to make their 2 choices here, make it easier to try to get that counter pick like you were talking about in one of the solo lanes. So let's see, HLE, where are we going to go with these picks? The Akali, I mentioned it earlier in game number 1. You remember, this is one of those iconic Zeka champions back with his Worlds 2022 win with DRX, but instead, they're going to go ahead and lock the Ambessa for Zeus.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were expecting with the drafting going the way it was, banning the Renekton and the Jax. The Ahri to try and set up for the Qiyana as well. So a lot of mobility on the members of HLE right now. Like, it is going to be very difficult for Team Secret Wales if this game starts to fall apart to try and keep things in check. But Hun, I was about to say his Volibear will be very good in this position, and he is going to go towards us.
All right, Pun slams down the top lane Volibear against Zeus's Ambessa, but I'm right there with you. The mobility on HLE here in this game. The only champion on this team that is not hyper-mobile is the Mel, who can also snare you at point-blank range and then use the reflector as soon as you try to make a move on Gumayusi. So very, very difficult, I think, for Team Secret Wales to find those angles. They're going to have to be coordinated. They're going to have to be ferocious. We know them as a team that domestically can play that way, particularly through Hizto, like we were talking earlier. But in game number 1, it was Delight and it was Kanavi making moves early that Team Secret Wales couldn't answer.
And I think Team Secret Wales became aware of how active Delight was being in the early stages, and Bay did a decent job afterwards of actually getting involved in some of those early skirmishes, right? Like getting the kill onto Kanavi, trying to play for some of those picks in the top lane. So I think if Bay can try and get out early to match some of these roams from Delight, maybe Team Secret Wales can try and control or slow down the pace of the early game for HLE.
The thing that I worry about, though, is if both of our supports are roaming, that leaves Mel versus Jhin down in the bottom lane, and I feel like Gumayusi on the Mel, Radiant Volley is going to trade pretty heavily into a Jhin who only can attack fast enough to shoot her with one bullet.
Yeah, also kind of short range on the attack as well, which is like, obviously you got the Deadly Flourish and the ults, which is where that long range comes from, but his auto attack range does not match Mel, so I think that's really where it is going to be a little bit of a difficulty, and reflected forward shots. Less than ideal.
That's not going to feel very good. And you can tell from his big dramatic animation that he's going to do it. It's pretty easy to time the rebuttal. If I can do it, I'm pretty sure Gumayusi can do it.
Yeah, he's pretty good at the video game.
Yeah, he's pretty skilled at this game. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Team Secret Wales really want to bounce back after a tough game 1 against HLE, but you know, that's so far easier said than done against a team of this caliber.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Hizto wants to do in the early game. Because usually what we see from junglers, and we've seen it from Kanavi in the past when they're playing Qiyana, you'd free camp, reset, and it looks like he's actually going to do this as well. Pick up longsword and then go and clear your topside jungle. So there is a window here where Hizto, if he knows that this is going to be the case, could end up going for some sort of play towards that top side of the map and try and set up already early for a Pun to try and win out here against AS, like blow his summoner spell, try and play off the Volibear early. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Instead, it looks like he is just going to try and clear it down towards this bottom side of the map as we get some T-Tours for Mel.
Yep, we got Mel showing up in that next Riftbound set, Vendetta, that arrives on July 31st with new champs, iconic rivalries, and beautiful art from all over Runeterra. So, whether you want to collect or play, go ahead and check it out. Plenty of new champs, including the popular ones that we're seeing in the metagame right now. So, checking in on mid lane. Remember, this was where the disaster started in game number 1. Nice buffer there through the cocoon. Delight making sure that the hook shot gets him away from imminent danger, but still gets tagged with a Deadly Flourish. Delight does land the Hex Tech sweep. Just a little bit of even trading down here in the bottom lane. I like the fact that BA and Eddie are playing aggressively early on like this. And you can see here on the left side of the map, it's the experience gap. This is for the next series, but there is one that we also have for HLE. That is just, this is a team that is very experienced. There's a lot of international appearances for all these players, and it's something that for Team Secret Wales, you've got to really step up to try to meet that, because international stages are a totally different monster from domestic competition. And going up against somebody who's really experienced with that, someone who's comfortable with that when you're brand new, that is a mental challenge in its own. Yeah,
and I think that's where a lot of that focus is going to be here for Team Secret Wales, is just trying to see if he can try and beat someone, because you've got like Gumayusi, this is his 5th MSI in a row, hasn't been able to put that trophy in, the MSI trophy specifically in his trophy case. Same you look across the days. Kanavi coming over from the LPL now, joining the LCK, has kind of been the, hey, I really want to try and find success on HLE and like bring some of the learnings from the LPL to the LCK, and that's kind of what we've seen is this team now adjusting to Kanavi and his aggressive play pattern. And it's been a massive success for them. And I think this is where, as you can see, the international appearances now on your screen.
There we go.
That it really is kind of the focal point of just how much experience there is on this team.
Well, we've already crossed the 3-minute mark, and there's no deaths on Team Secret Whales. So a cleaner early game from them. They're not getting caught off guard by any early roams from Delight, especially on a champion like Camille. You said at the start of the draft before we even saw it locked, this is a type of champion that can really enable that sort of play style.
And I think they've been doing a decent job because with the range now on the Elise, you can continue to push, but Kanavi spotted on this bottom side. So Team Secret Whales is going to have to disappear quickly.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit of a slow move there from BA. Solar Snare flies out. BA trying to get away from this one. Kanavi finds a lot of damage, but BA staying alive and even has the confidence to hold his flash.
Yeah, Kanavi not actually taking the water rune there so you could actually get the lock-up as...
Oh, Pun! He goes in for the solo kill against Zeus, gets him low, down to 100 HP. Zeus, though, again, cool and collected, does not spin the flash, does not blow a summoner spell, but this is the power of the Volibear in the 1v1.
And the power of Pun, right? Like, this was a guy that they wanted to give so many of these counter picks to. Because in the past, he was much more about those tanks playing in the top side, but he has really found his niche domestically in the LCP by having these crazy counter picks, by being able to bully you in lane, and then moving that pressure around the map. But now, Zeus low, Hizto here.
Okay, no level 6 for the Volibear here just yet as Delight has made his way up with a hookshot flash, and it's first blood over to Delight. It does end up getting traded 1-for-1 here. Hizto trying to get away from Delight now. Zeka and BA both making their way up. Hizto still looking for a way out. There's no flash here with a Jarvan. Zeka's ready to go with the follow. Needs a little bit more damage. One more auto attack in the air. Gets it done. BA on the run. Teleport coming in now from Team Secret Whales, but Kanavi's also rejoined the fight. Finds another kill onto BA. And now the teleport is simply a funeral for Pun. He TPs right back into the top side and immediately has to run back.
Just about able to get away from the lockdown from Kanavi, but there's more going.
It's not done yet. Delight jumps in. Pun goes down, and now D-Ray also delivers himself into the waiting maw of HLE. Delight falls there at least, so D-Ray gets one, but Zeka and Kanavi continue their chase. The Aurora is out of mana, and the extended bloodbath in the top side of the map is a 5-for-2.
What the hell just happened? This game just blew up out of nowhere, and it's HLE with the numbers advantage that are able to make the play stick in the top lane. 5-2, a near 2,000 gold lead, and a ton of that going to Delight in the bottom lane.
The fight was so long that Pun died twice. Let's watch it again.
Yeah, because you get the roam from Delight to cover the topside play, and it works so well. Pun obviously just burned the flash, had no way to escape, so tries to set up here. Zay is flashing away, thinking he can get away from his toe, but ends up going down. Bae is level 3. He tries his best to keep Zeka out of this engagement, but the charm missing from Zeka honestly kind of end up baiting Team Secret Whales into a little bit more here. Bae tries to keep himself here to see if he can keep Hizto alive. He ends up sticking around thinking the TP will help, not expecting Kanavi to be topside here. And at this stage, you're like, call it off. Like, call it a day, Team Secret Whales. But with D-Ray move, they thought they had a Zeka.
Yeah, Zeka does not have the Spirit Rush, and that's a good punish from Team Secret Whales.
You know, Flash, no Spirit Rush using the last one. So Team Secret Whales at least get something back in that mid lane.
But yeah, I'm not surprised. Sometimes we have to jump out of a replay, and I'm surprised the action starts that soon. That replay was like 2 minutes long because of how long the fight was. So I'm not surprised that we had more action before it concluded. Yeah. But yeah, that top lane battle was just so bloody. But again, going 5-for-2, favoring HLE, considering how long of a fight that was, really good result for them.
Yeah, at least for Pun, Zeus wasn't really involved, right? He ended up missing out on the public execution towards the end of that fight as well, and Zeus...
Oh yeah, Pun putting on the pressure here with the ulti to turn the turret off. Takes a bite out of Zeus. Pun with no flash anymore, but he could still try to catch up to him here with the Q. Zeus getting away with the mobility on that Ambessa, staying alive at about 100 HP. Pun is winning all of the trades, but in doing so, he's putting himself in a dangerous position. And now, once again, it's Delight setting it up for the public execution. It don't matter about the 1v1. It's a 5v5 game, and Delight loves making these roams.
Delight is 3-1-3. This Camille is probably going to get the first item in the game. It is absolutely insane. As Kanavi now in the bot lane, trying to help cover for Gumayusi because Delight is now killing mid.
Yep, Delight's looking for another one. D-Ray gets away across the Veil, at least for now. But yeah, I feel like you're kind of a prophet a bit here, talking about Delight picking the Camille at the very start of the draft. He locks it in. He's got 100% kill participation. He's roaming all over the map. Again, they can trust Gumayusi to just sit bottom, take care of himself, clear waves, survive, play that weak side. Meanwhile, top has just turned into rivers of blood here as everyone constantly plays around this Volibear Ambessa matchup.
And it's like this HLE and BLG are the two teams I'm most excited to see this style on. Because I think like they play this incredibly well, like getting your support out of the map, interacting in the rest of the game, and just blowing the game open in your favor. Like you can see, Delight's just ignoring bot. He's like, I'm going to play mid. I'm possibly going to go top here again because he's going to cover for the grub take from Kanavi. But also like Pun has just about to get his flashback up. So there is that small timing window you were talking about last game to try and punish the Volibear once more.
All right, Pun backing away now as you do have both Kanavi and Delight up in the area. Kanavi clearing out the grubs right now has already secured the first one. Delight's just here to make sure that no shenanigans happen while the jungler is occupied, while his top laner is pushing out. There's your hook shot. Does not find the stun, but it won't matter. He's already got the Hex Tech ultimatum. Pun getting away for now. The Ignite is on him, but he survives with about 200 HP. Delight still looking for a little bit more. BA shows up. He's trying to cover here for his top laner. BA is also low. Zeus flashing away, still burning down from the Ignite. Both top laners barely hanging on.
Still, might just look for a little bit more afterwards, but with Hizto up in the area, Kanavi going to back away as he spot on the ward. Because Delight definitely has enough damage once he gets his combo back up to finish off one of these low health bars. But BA playing that perfectly, just about getting that repel off before the ultimate from Kanavi connected was crucial to surviving there.
And I feel like we're kind of seeing deja vu. Yeah, it wasn't as active very, very early, but after the top lane happened, we've still got a violent early game. We've still got, D-Ray making a play down here on the bottom side, looking for Gumayusi, who does get away for now. Curtain call is opened up though. Gumayusi stepping to the side as the teleport's about to arrive. Guma putting the damage into D-Ray, but public execution misses. Will not matter. Again, HLE come out on top. This is the trust in Gumayusi that I was talking about. He evades the pressure, he absorbs the threat, the rest of the team comes and gets the punish.
It's just not fair, Flowers.
No.
Like, 99% of players die in that position, but Gumayusi managing to step away from so many of the deadly flourishes, the extra damage that was coming through, and buying enough time for the support to follow up. HLE are just covering every base.
This is scary, scary stuff. Pun's at least going to grab a couple of plates up here of this top lane turret, but now Gumayusi has rotated up here, and it's so difficult for Volibear to do anything to Mel. You just send the solar snare at him and walk away. Yeah, he's going to get the cooldown back on his Q afterwards, but you're already all the way completely distant from him. Yeah. What's it going to matter? So 3,000 gold lead for HLE 11 minutes into the game. This is feeling very, very similar to game.
Yeah, and now they're starting to take over this top side. Going to see if they can find Team Secret Wells in their own jungle. They do push mid.
Oh, Delight jumps in, but a nice evade from BA there. Now the counterattack from Team Secret Wales. The punish on Kanavi. Finally, the aggression from Delight and Kanavi is met with an appropriate response from Team Secret Wales. They'll grab their 4th kill.
Yeah, bit too much there from HLE. Like, you know that the bot lane is going to be resetting to match Gumayusi in this top side. I'm just not expecting there to be multiple people in the position in the jungle. So Team Secret Wales do a good job of capitalizing. And it does buy them a little bit of space and time here to just get some vision down, try and get these waves back in favor. Because I imagine in 38 seconds, you're going to get that dragon take attempt from HLE.
And remember that last game, Team Secret Wales didn't get on the board for a much longer duration. Ooh, nice solar snare there, locking up Pun. That interrupts his teleport. Yeah, that's a huge summoner spell loss. Gumayusi making that one happen again. Now we've got to once more look across the map though. Zeus versus Hizto. Since Pun couldn't get up here and regroup in time, since he couldn't use his teleport, that means Hizto has to be the one defending against the Ambessa. And now BA has already used the repel. Now it's Delight and Kanavi. They want their revenge. If they couldn't find it in the top side jungle, they're gonna find it in the bottom side jungle. And now Pun, oh no, now he's under pressure here too. Delight just making sure that he can't walk away. The recall continuing to be channeled. Kanavi gonna step forward, cancel that one out. Meanwhile, top side, Zeus going up against D-Ray here, who gets away for now. Bottom side of the map, Pun also going to get dove in the 3v1. He dies immediately. D-Ray getting away alongside Hizto up here underneath the tier 1 turret. The weirding tags Zeka, but he still gets away over the wall. No kills in the top side, but mission accomplished down to the bottom lane, and that's going to be the first turret to go along with it.
Yeah, Team Secret Wales are able to keep themselves alive on the top side. At least the silver lining was there was a shutdown for Pun, but losing the wave, losing that tower is going to be horrible for Team Secret Wales. And again, we're just seeing they're trying to keep pace, but there's so many angles of attack from HLE, you just can't cover all sides.
And now Kanavi grabs that dragon exactly like you were talking about. 4,000 gold lead and change. 2 dragons to nothing, 3 grubs to nothing. 13.5 minutes into the game. HLE is just on a whole nother level than Team Secret Wales.
Even trying to look at like the gold leads between the individual players, there's just not really much wiggle room. Like, you've had Team Secret Wales dropping waves to try and make plays or to try and cover plays from HLE, but either HLE are succeeding in the play and getting the lead anyway, or they end up just backing away and you've lost regardless because you've dropped waves to try and match them. So I think in this position, it kind of does now continuously fall back towards being Hizto to try and find moments where you can catch out players like Gumayusi when he doesn't have flash, or try and find these plays elsewhere, but your timing windows are just disappearing more and more.
And you talk about trying to find plays onto Gumayusi when he doesn't have flash, but they've already tried to make plays on Gumayusi. Here's his stats: LCK rounds 1 and 2 plus road to MSI, KDA at 4.4, not the highest on that one. His stats among MSI bottom laners, they might not look the most impressive on paper, but again, we saw this guy's experience internationally. We know his accomplishments in the past. He's got the intangibles, he's got the clutch factor to go along with stats that can be very impressive.
Yeah, I think the thing that's always impressed me with Gumayusi is how he does so much with so little. Like, he still always has that massive impact in a game, despite the fact that he will be left completely on his own. But in this case, he's kind of been left on his own and succeeding regardless. Like, he's the highest individual gold lead apart from his support.
Apart from his own support, yeah. But it's a strange problem to have, but it's a welcome one. Meanwhile, bottom side, Zeus versus Pun. That 1v1 with a Volibear can be deceptively difficult with all the healing that he can get from the W, with the shielding that he gets from his E. Pun is just capable of doing so much. Meanwhile, a teleport coming in to try to reinforce him here. D-Ray wants to maybe make a move onto Zeus, see if they can find the Ambessa. Public execution looking to buffer through it. Zeus turns back around. Pun staying alive with a frenzy, but it's Delight and he's ready to fight. Delight once again turning it around here in the top laner battle. Just when Pun thinks he has the chance. No.
I just wanted to double check that his Ignite Delight's running, not Teleport, because this man is all over the map. It's absolutely insane. He's there in the nick of time, exactly when HLE need him, and now immediately HLE going to take this mid lane tower.
Delight's map movements have been impressive. Now a teleport coming back down into the bottom lane as Zeus rejoins his support. He's ready to repay the favor. BA getting away with Repel for now as Hizto and D-Ray both have to run. Delight looking for a little bit more, jumps right back in here with a hook shot. Zeus just ready to clean these guys up, but he needs a little bit more damage. Delight is down to 100 HP and Hizto shuts him down. Now Pun is rejoined. You've got the Supreme Display of Talent, but it doesn't do much damage. Hizto finally popped by Kanavi, who has to try to get back away now. Zeus jumping in after BA yet again, but the Repel keeps him alive. Kanavi falls to Pun. Gumayusi's made his way into the fight. Point blank Solar Snare finds another kill. BA still running, somehow staying alive here on the Elise. Pun tries to take Zeus with him, and he finds the shutdown. Pun staying alive from the Volibear. As the curtain call shots come in from downtown, Team Secret Wales finding themselves a couple of kills here in the trade. The problem, Dagda, the other side of the map has some issues. Gumayusi finally falls. Pun picks up the kill on that one.
Keep going.
Guma was trying to keep him there because Zeka is teleporting into the fight. Now Zeka finding a little bit of damage, but it does get locked up. Spirit Rush trying to get enough damage here with Orb of Deception. And yet again, out of left field, it's Delight. But Zeka is locked up and Pun goes on a rampage. Delight needs a little bit more damage, but Pun heals up. He needs another heal with a frenzy and he finds it. Pun's in raid boss mode. He stuns Delight out of the hook shot, but now Kanavi's back in the fight. Pun finally has to walk away. Good God, man, every fight lasts 2.5 minutes.
What the hell just happened in that bottom side? HLE on a conveyor belt to just sending more and more people in to the pair. That was a 1.1k gold lead. Pun got so much off the back of that. That was bonkers.
Yeah, okay, that replay is also probably not going to go in uninterrupted. I'm just saying that was That was a lot of League of Legends all at once.
There was a lot of things happening. There was, like, the tier 2 went down in top lane, I guess, for Zeka.
Yeah.
That was something.
Yep.
But HLE, like, they opted in towards repeated player deficit fight after fight. It was definitely some fun. Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of fun gaming here. We got fun gaming versus pun gaming because it's all about this Volibear. Everybody just has to... Everyone else on Team Secret Whales are the ads. Pun is the raid boss.
Yeah.
The ads have to support the boss if they want to try to defeat the absolute monster that is HLE right now. Delight jumping in after D-Ray, immediately applies Hextech Ultimatum, trying to get the kill, but BA shows up and the counterattack is there. Team Secret Whales get the kill on Delight. That is big to start this one off. Curtain call opens up. Kanavi gonna get slowed down. Fourth shot. Comes through, finds Kanavi, and Pun gets another one. Team Secret Whales have already found 2 kills, and Pun's not done. Gumayusi gonna be the next target. Pun running after him, but a nice use of charm in the slow. Pun still continuing forward, finds the stun on Aguma. The damage back isn't gonna be enough as Team Secret Whales get a 3-0. HLE is playing fast and loose, and Team Secret Whales are finding the angles for the counterattack.
Secret Whales are happy to punish on this one. Delight goes way too deep, and immediately Team Secret Whales come alive. They're gonna get the dragon, they got some kills. HLE trying to find something back by taking this mid lane tower, but Eddie needs to be careful re-entering here. Delight was on the hunt.
This is some very happy gaming from HLE. Let's take another look here.
Yeah.
As Delight just says, all right, I see somebody, I'm jumping him.
Yeah, but forgot to see where the rest of his team was, because he was so deep on this one. But you've only got Kanavi's able to come through. The repel again, perfect from BA. D-Ray of the sidestep. And at this stage, like, Pun has already been keeping many members of HLE engaged on the top end, and he just jumped in on top of them. He's already got so many tanky stats. He's happy to terror dive. And it's yeah, you can see there, Team Secret Whales happy to get a little bit more off of that.
And there's your damage from the last fight. It's Pun topping the charts at 3,700. The bear is there, man.
There's a reason a lot about, oh, hang on.
We're not done yet. Kanavi and Delight going in this time, and Hizto is dead before anybody arrives. Teleports from both teams are here. Eddie's going to be the target of Zeus. Pun creating a little bit of space, preventing the rest of HLE from joining in. The Volibear has about 4,000 HP at this point. It's very difficult to get through him.
Zeus nearly connecting with the public execution now. Ends up locked down.
Yeah, Zeus having a bit of a problem here. Pun does get caught by Solar Snare. Down to half HP on the Volibear as HLE continues pushing into the enemy jungle, trying to rip more and more control of the Rift away.
Still, as you say, HLE just holding on towards that topside vision, not giving it towards Team Secret Whales. Can they find a pick, Dira? This is a little risky.
Yeah. Oh, tried to jump over the wall there. Did not quite find his way over, but luckily that does not cost him anything. Kanavi, oh no, maybe it will cost him something now. He does not have Between Worlds ready to go. He just pops, he's gone. D-Ray's dead, BA's about to join him. That's a 2-0 here so far. Kanavi down to 200 HP. Hizto wants to get something back as the curtain call opens up. The shot's firing through, Pun jumps in, goes godlike, finding the kill on Kanavi. Now Delight's gonna be the next target, but he hook shots over the wall. Zeus coming in, the shutdown on Pun is gonna be big as he tries to escape. Has a little bit more distance, using the ulti to get out. Frenzy with a massive heal. Zeus now overextended. Hizto and Pun grab the kill. This bear is the key to victory for Team Secret Whales. Hizto jumps in, going after Delight. Deadly Flourish looking for Gumayusi, but Delight kills Hizto. The jungler can't fight the support because Delight is so far ahead. Pun still chasing after Guma, but he can't quite find him.
Pun still gets charmed as he tries desperately to carry this game. It is Pun v4, and he's almost making it work. But unfortunately, just not enough in the tank as HLE are every step away because D-Ray gets destroyed here, blowing up immediately. The follow-up on towards B, and I thought this was it. I thought they were done. But Hizto goes on towards Kanavi with a flash away, not able to make it work. Kanavi tries to go back to safety, but Pun immediately there to follow up. And the healing from this bear with the unending despair and the maul is absurd as he heals his way up in this one. The ultimate there. There's just a chomp, and HLE have to run, but yeah, you can see as they try to jump on towards Pun, he is more than happy as soon as they close the gap to keep it going.
He's so strong on this Volibear. And I mean, it's HLE's problem that they made for themselves by giving him this opportunity, having these long, scrappy fights that Volibear loves. Spirit Visage alongside that Unending Despair with that Fimble winner like you were talking about, it shields and heals forever.
But this is why so many of the analysts were talking about Pun in this Volibear. Like, this has been such a strong pick for him domestically. He has only brought it out once, but he is a beast on this pick.
Well, HLE have found Team Secret Whales trying to sneak a Baron away. They will not allow that to happen. Pun's going to eat a lot of damage here at the very start of the fight, but he turns it right back around! Pun's legendary, and Zeus is caught. The curtain call is opened up, but Zeka's here with the back line. Delight right beside him, and Eddie is going to get picked off. You got to protect your Jhin. The rest of the team gets blinded chasing, and Eddie gets caught unaware. Now D-Ray has to try to escape. Going across the veil, turns it around between worlds. Delight escapes for now. Weirding's not going to find the target. Delight looking for the hook shot, but Hizto gets away with the combo.
HLE managing to get Eddie, get the kill back. Because Team Secret Whales actually, nice turnaround on towards Zeus, but we're still seeing the same problem, right? Where they try to set up for a pick, try to set up for a play, but HLE, they're playing at the map better. They push in top, open up for Zeka to find that flank, and it's just this constant rotation on the map that's catching them out. They try to get Pun. This bear is way too tanky.
Yeah.
And Zeus is caught in response. He does not have that same luxury, but you can already see, like, this is the collapse from Zeka who pushed out top wave, now moving in. And it's Team Secret Whales who are constantly trying to make these pick plays happen, but they're losing control in side lanes, and it's HLE who are then finding these collapse angles afterwards.
HLE are going to grab their third Drake of the game, however, that puts them on Soul Point with an Infernal Soul Rift. That is very scary. Maybe that's the difference between being able to kill Pun or not. But that Volibear Tunneler in inventory, that means the next item is going to be something of the Bruiser Persuasion.
Probably Sundered Sky at
yeah,
this stage,
more carry potential there for the top laner as Team Secret Whales will again begin the Baron. HLE, they know this is happening. They're ready to respond. Pun trying to clear out some of the vision. Keep your eyes on Delight. This Camille has been starting so many of the fights. Kanavi on the backside of the pit as Hizto goes over there into the Tri-Brush. They do not want to overcommit to the Baron. Pun hit with a Solar Snare yet again, followed up by the Charm. Pun at half HP. Supreme display of talent only tags Hizto. Not a lot of value there out of Kanavi's ultimate, and both sides seem to just choose to disengage.
Looks like HLE want to try and interrupt these resets though, because Zeka pushing in mid could potentially take that inhibitor turret. So they're forcing the long way back for Team Secret Whales, which gives them time here on the mid lane.
All right, that wave is pushing. HLE just seeing the opportunity, but they don't want to overcommit to anything. Reset coming in from Eddie and Hizto now as the rest of the Whales have already completed theirs. Zeka just trying to steal away resources from the enemy jungle. Same thing for Zeus here as they collect a couple of camps, get themselves out of town, go back home, make those purchases. This game has become, this game doesn't feel like it's an 8,000 gold lead for HLE because they keep taking fights that favor the way that Volibear plays the game. Volibear loves long, messy fights where you can get multiple heals, multiple shields, give yourself so much effective HP, and that's what all the fights have been.
It's also a team comp that wants to dive, but also it's kind of tricky too, because you're running into the Elise, who's got the Cocoon. You've got D-Ray's got some decent setup in the in-between worlds to reposition. In theory, Eddie's playing back. So it does make it a little tough, because by default, the composition favors jumping into the Volibear, right?
All right, Team Secret Whales, if nothing else, they do have a 3-minute timer, because that's when the Dragon Soul will spawn for HLE, and they will have to take that fight. You don't want to give the Infernal Soul to a team that's already 8,000 gold ahead. So for HLE, I want to see, do you try to make some crazy aggressive move, or do you just force them to answer you down to the Dragon? Kanavi, almost level 16 on the Qiyana. Hizto just barely level 14 on the Jarvan.
Also, if Team Secret Whales do find a good fight, there's a ton of standing gold for them as Delight.
Oh, Delight, stunned with a deadly flourish. Pun follows it up with a stun of his own, but no, nothing more from Team Secret Whales. Ooh, D-Ray messes up the Between Worlds, casts it on a whole lot of nothing, and now HLE, they've killed the raid boss, and everybody else is in their sights. D-Ray and BA both fall right after. Right when it looked like Team Secret Whales continued to find fights and hold the line, it's Pun getting picked into the follow-up kills on the mid laner in support of Team Secret Whales, and now it's just a 5-man death ball down the mid lane.
Yeah, the blades came crashing down as Team Secret Whales are trying to juggle a potential pick onto the light. And now the curtain call.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Hizto catches everybody in Cataclysm, and it does not matter at all. He will at least get the kill on Delight thanks to the turret damage. But now it's Eddie versus everybody as the first Nexus turret dies. Second one's about to fall. BA and Pun will respawn. HLE onto the Nexus itself now, though. Pun charging forward, trying to take him out before the Nexus falls, but it ain't gonna happen. HLE, go to match point.
It got a little funny in the mid-game, but HLE still able to bring it together in the end. Better map play, better control in the fight, and that last pick just sealing the deal for Team Secret Wales.